Happy Monday, Antelope Valley. I hope everyone's well and you had a pleasant weekend. I'm Mark Troth, broker and co-owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Troth Realtors, right here in Lancaster, California, bringing you the July 20th, 2026 edition of the Antelope Valley Real Estate Market Update, where week in and week out, we take a look at exactly what's going on in our local real estate market. I feel it's important that residents, buyers, sellers here in the Antelope Valley have a trusted local resource to go to and follow along with to see exactly what's going on in our local real estate market. Often our statistics do get lumped in with greater Los Angeles County and Southern California. And as decades in this business in this valley have shown, our statistics are definitely unique onto themselves. If you're a interested buyer or seller in the Antelope Valley, following along with other statistics would be a lot like seeing what the weather was like in Florida before you get dressed to go out in the weather here in the valley. So important that you do follow along with our Antelope Valley statistics, and that's what we provide this for. Always like to point out that our statistics are courtesy of the Greater Antelope Valley Association of Realtors MLS system. So where are we at this week of July 20th, 2026? Active listings took another little bit of a jump, up 2.5% to 1,036 from last week when we were at 1,011. Pendings, those properties that are under contract and in escrow, unfortunately took a little bit of a downturn again this week. Overall, from where we were last week, had a number of closings, which reflects in that, but about the third or fourth week in a row. So we're looking to hopefully pick up some momentum as we head through the balance of July and into August. So week over week, look at what last week brought from us, the week of July 13th through yesterday, the 19th. As I mentioned, new listings during that period down a little bit, down 14.7% from 95 to 81. No change in our median list price at 480 of those new properties coming on the market. New properties into escrow last week, 58. That is up 3.6% from the week prior when we were at 56, I believe it was. But definitely we're not keeping up with those new listings coming on the market. And so we'll talk about that here in a moment. Median number of days that those properties were on the market before they went into escrow were 34. That's 8 more than where we were last week when we were at 26. And the listings that sold last week, down from 57 to 50. That's a 12.3% drop. So obviously, as the pendings into escrows go, that will reflect what those closings look like somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks down the road. Median list price of those 50 properties up from 500,000 to 5,025, so less than a 1% increase. Our absorption rate, our overall absorption rate, 4.2 months. That is exactly the same where we were last week. Absorption rate is if we were to take that 1,036 listings divided up by the number of properties that closed over the last 30 days, which was 248, gives us that 4.2 months, which means that it would take 4.2 months for all those properties to go into escrow should nothing else come on the market. And truly, as I point out every week, what that's a reflection of is that anytime you're less than 3 months on the market, you're trending towards a seller's market. From 3 to 6 months, you're trending to a balanced market where both buyer and seller need to have some flexibility in moving forward. And then anytime you really exceed 5 to 6 months, you're definitely in a buyer's market and could potentially start to see some downward pressure on pricing. Other couple statistics we've been following along with is what the absorption rate is of properties over 600,000, kind of our upper end market. And right now we are at 5 months. 283 properties on the market, 57 of those closed over the last 30 days. So that's 5 months worth of supply, down just a tick from 5.1 months. Also been following the number of those 1,036 listings that are either REO, real estate owned, bank owned properties. This week it was 2%, which did 2.4%, excuse me, which is a little bit of an increase from last week when we were at 2%. And then short sales, those properties that are on the market where the folks are selling them and they are asking less than what is owed, asking the lender to take a short sale, a payoff less than what's owed. And that is exactly where we were last week at 1.7%. So with that, we'll go ahead and call it a wrap to the July 20th edition of the Antelope Valley Real Estate Market Update. However, if there's any more information you'd like about the market, statistics, whatever, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or any of our other trusted associates here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Troth Realtors, where we have been serving the Antelope Valley real estate market since 1957. All right, everybody, take care. Make it a great week, and we will see you next Monday, the 27th. All righty, bye-bye.